doubles finalist, commentating for Channel 7, Australia. The head-to-head, as you just briefly saw, is 4-0 in favour of Korda. Tell you more about that in a moment. And it's the check to start the match.
15.
Yzaga playing his third final of the year, Peter Korda his second. A lot of the crowd into the match. Always a good atmosphere in this tournament. And it sounds as if there's a lot of South American support. Of course, Sydney, a very cosmopolitan city. Well, likely to become more so in the build-up to the Games of 2000. Yzaga at 5'7" was the smallest man in the draw. So Peter Korda takes the opening game on his serve. In case you're wondering who Ansett are, they're an internal Australian airline. Well, Peter Korda is clearly enjoying the atmosphere. Just to go through the 4 previous matches between these two. They haven't played each other since 1991. All 4 previous matches have been indoors. They first met at the Toronto indoors in 1990. Korda won 7-6, 6-4. That same year they met indoors in Philadelphia. Korda won 2-6, 6-3, 7-5. Also in 1990 they met indoors in Basel, Swiss indoors. That was on a hard court as opposed to a carpet court. Korda won 7-6, 3-6, 6-3. And then they met again in Philadelphia, again back on carpet in 1991. Korda won 6-4, 6-3.
How many years ago this?
Love one, Yzaga serving. Yzaga has been as high as 18 in the world rankings. That was in October of 1989. Korda's highest ranking, number 5, in July of 92, shortly after, of course, he reached the French Open final.
Game is up.
So Yzaga, very much the underdog, showing no signs of nerves. And a chance of Peru breakout. This is actually Jaime's very first indoor final. His third final of the year. Both were outdoors on clay in the United States. Yzaga first lost to Horacio de la Peña from Argentina in Charlotte, and then he beat Richard Fromberg in the final of Tampa, which we covered here on Eurosport.
15.
There's the first ace. Very much an arm action, the Peter Korda serve. It's not the most consistent of weapons. Tends to serve a lot of double faults. With these two players contesting the final, we're sure to get lots of all-court play. Neither of them out-and-out serve and volleys. Korda, I suspect, will get to the net rather more. Well, some of the Peruvian supporters thought that Yzaga had got the break point with a double fault. Of course, the first serve from Korda was a net cord, but now it is indeed a break point for Jaime Yzaga. Oh, what a great return. So first blood to Yzaga. He leads 2-1 in the first set. Serving 2-1 up, first set of this best of 5-set final of the Australian Indoor Championships in the Sydney Entertainment Centre. And at the moment, Yzaga's tactics fairly clear. Keep the ball going, keep it reasonably deep, and wait for Korda to make the errors. And the check is obliging. Yzaga will be 26 on the 23rd of this month.
30.
good get, somewhat fortunate to get it off the end of the racket.
40-15.
A good stretch from the 6'3" Peter Korda. Well, that's a very good record, isn't it? Considering he's never reached an indoor final before. The South American fans having lots to cheer at the start of this contest, but of course in a best-of-5 set match, an awful long way to go. The logo of Channel 7 Sport, they are the main tennis broadcasters in Australia. Cover the Australian outdoor season, which starts with the Hopman Cup at the end of the year, beginning of January. Hopman Cup, played in Perth in Western Australia, is the mixed teams competition. Steffi Graf and Michael Stich, the reigning champions for Germany. Two aces now from Korda. John McEnroe is going to be playing for the United States there in this winter's competition. This summer, as far as the Australians are concerned. And of course the season culminates in the first Grand Slam of the year, the Australian Open, in the wonderful setting of Flinders Park, Melbourne. Gets underway, if I remember rightly, on the 17th of January 1994. Korda beginning to find the range, one feels here, beginning to time the ball a little better. Medium-paced carpet court. Oh, my word. We're talking of timing the ball sweetly. This is a spectacular backhand. Early preparation, the secret. So Peter Korda, the 6th seed, stops the little run of games against him.
3 games to 2.
Very contrasting routes to the final. Peter Korda hasn't played a seed at all and won't in the entire tournament. And Jaime Yzaga has beaten 3 seeds in a row. Korda's route to the final, he beat Paul Haarhuis of Holland 6-3, 6-1, and Patrick Rafter of Australia 6-4, 6-2. Mark Woodford of Australia 6-4, 6-1. And in the semi-finals, Wayne Ferreira, the South African, who'd beaten him in the first round of the US Open, 6-3, 6-2. Jaime Yzaga began by beating the American Brad Gilbert, 6-2, 6-2. Then he beat the 8th seed Roy Mercer, 6-1, 6-4. Then in the huge upset, he beat the number 1 seed Jim Courier, 6-4, 2-6, 6-4. And then in the semi-finals, he beat the 4th seed and defending champion Goran Ivanisevic, 6-3, 6-4. So Yzaga's had a great week. Korda's had a good week, but he's won matches that he's always been expected to win. I think if you'd suggested on Monday that Jaime Yzaga would be in the final of this tournament, the Aussies would have been carting you off to the funny farm. 3-2, first set.
Lovely.
Plenty of good eating and drinking going on around the courts by the looks of it. Korda still making too many unforced errors in trying to force the pace. They had a festival of tennis in conjunction with this event. They had a gala dinner to raise money for the Arthur Ashe Foundation for the defeat of AIDS. It's been a real holiday week in association with the tournament. And I think the whole city of Sydney, if not the whole of Australia, is still celebrating getting the Games, the Olympic Games of the millennium. Well, that's the first almost sloppy shot from Yzaga. He didn't move his feet, he was casual, and he's paying a heavy price, or he may do, because here's Korda with 2 chances to break back. Yes, I think there was an overrule there from umpire Dana Leconto. I didn't hear any call of out from the line judge. No protest from Peter Korda. Clearly the ball was out. 15-40 back to juice. Well, Korda disappointed this time, but I must confess I thought the call was right this time. First ace from Yzaga. Will the replay help us? No, that actually suggests it was wide. This replay would probably be more. Yeah, it might have been wide. Seeing it in slow motion. Yzaga annoyed at himself for dropping the ball too short.
Advantage Yzaga.
This time much better depth from the man from Yzaga. And he comes through his first test with flying colours, recovering from 1540 to keep ahead in this first set. He's been a very solid professional for many years now, Yzaga. He was voted the ATP Newcomer of the Year in 1985 when he won the French Open Junior title, reached the 4th round of the US Open Seniors, and was ranked 45 at the end of the year. That was 85, and since then his year-end rankings have been 64, 70, 65, 23, 87, 53, and last year 49. And he has a very simple, very classical almost, backcourt game. He's a regular winner of titles on the tour too. Normally it should be said smaller titles than this one. He picks his tournaments very wisely. He's picking his shots very wisely. Jaime won his Connectity in 87, in Itabarica in 88, in Charlotte in 91, in Auckland and Tampa last year, and in Tampa this year. And he really is hitting this cross-court backhand sweetly. Best result in a Grand Slam, quarterfinalist in the Australian Open in 1991. So 3 break points for the double break for Jaime Yzaga to take a 5-2 first set lead. Third ace from the Czech. And there it is. So Jaime Yzaga, the rank underdog, leads 5-2 in the first set. Sports coverage of the final of the Ansett Australia Indoor Championships in the Sydney Entertainment Centre.
Thank you.
It looks as if Peter Korda's had some problems with his eyes, just getting a little bit of treatment during the changeover. And here's Yzaga serving for the first set at 5-2. Goran Ivanisevic, after losing to Yzaga yesterday, was very dismissive of the Peruvian's chances in this final, said he'd lose in straight sets. Goran was very dismissive of his own performance in that match. But Yzaga's the sort of player that the top players feel they ought to be able to dismiss quite easily, and Korda is guilty of pressing too hard and too fast at the moment, going for too much too soon.
30-15.
Really is stroking the ball well.
40-15.
2 set points for the unseeded Yzaga. That's an immaculate first set.
6 games to 2.
I bet you Jaime Yzaga wasn't expecting support like this. He gets not a lot in Tampa. And good Aussie voice coming out for Peter Korda. He needs to lift his game too, my word. It's 29 minutes that opening set took. Peter Korda's one final appearance this year came in America just before the US Open. He was runner-up to Andrei Medvedev in New Haven in Connecticut.
15-30.
Four aces now. Better serving on the last couple of points, and Korda recovers from love 30 to 30 all. He'll want to get plenty of those first serves in, doing well on that percentage score. Important game, that one, I think, for Peter Korda. Love 30 down in it. Turned it around pretty well. Peter had a bit of a scare earlier this year, back in the spring. Diagnosed as having a heart virus. That's enough to worry anybody. He's only now fully recovered. He's taken quite a rest since the US Open, where he lost in the first round to Wayne Ferreira, who's South African. 5 sets on the opening day on the centre court, or stadium court as the Americans call it. The first of the seeds who fell like 9 pins in the US Open, rather like they have here at the Australian indoors. And Peter says he is going to play less in future. He thinks he's been overplaying, tiring himself out. Apart from that runners-up spot in New Haven, he's been a semi-finalist in Milan, Keeper's Cade, Halle, the new grass court tournament in Germany, and Montreal, and a quarter-finalist here in Australia at the start of the year in the Australian Open, the Stuttgart indoors, in Indian Wells, at Nice, and in Washington. So it's been a consistent but not spectacular year for Peter Korda, who's dropped down the rankings out of the top 10 from 7 to his current position of 13, although he'll certainly be pushing up again as a result of reaching the final here. Here's Yzaga. Love 1, second set. Yzaga is coached by Steve Krulewitz, American, and Peter Korda by Vladimir Zednik. Well, those were the sort of flowing winners we expected from Korda. Trouble is, up till now, they've been overwhelmed by the amount of unforced errors he's produced. That's a wonderful return.
15-30.
One of those shots that is over the sidelines, the wrong side of the sidelines, until it just drops on them. Just angling back towards the sideline throughout the flight and plumb on the sideline when it drops. But Yzaga is hitting that backhand cross court so sweetly. Oh, finding out all about the players in the programme. All. Well, the approach volley must have been plumb on the baseline.
40-30.
Let's have a look at it. Oh, he must have caught the very back edge of the baseline. Desperately close. No appeal from Korda. He accepted it was good.
Again, is 1 down.
And yet another unforced error from the 25-year-old Czech, who's married to a former player, Regina Rykertrova. They have a daughter, Jessica, born in February of this year. Well, he's getting pretty fired up, isn't he?
30-15.
And just for once, the disadvantage of being 5'7" is clear.
30-40.
So the first break point of the second set goes to the man who's already won the first set. Yeah, look at those unforced errors. No wonder he's behind. Oh, and there's another. And Yzaga moves ahead in the second set. A real upset on the cards here. Welcome back. Jaime Yzaga very much in the driving seat in this final of the Australian Indoors. But of course it is a best of 5 set match, so still a long way to go. But you feel it would do Korda's chances an awful lot of good if he could break back straight away here. He needs a psychological boost. It's almost as if the raucous support Yzaga is getting has upset him. But you just can't win a match when you're making all these unforced errors. And also he's been drawn into playing Yzaga at his own game. I think Korda should be perhaps trying to mix it up a bit more, coming to the net occasionally. Well, one of the best rallies of the match ends with another Korda error. Peter appealing to Dana Leconte that a shot in the middle of the rally was out, but no way did I see it like that. Steady all. Now then,
30-40.
Korda's first break point of the second set. He had 2 in the first. So the first sign of weakness from Jaime Yzaga. And could that just be the turning point? We've been expecting Korda to come alive, to cut out some of the errors, and to take control against a man he's beaten 4 times out of 4. There's his first break of serve. So 2-all now, second set.
15 all.
Well, one just can't explain an error like that. The whole court to go for. Played it almost too carefully. Maybe, just maybe, the luck is beginning to swing Korda's way. This is certainly a huge slice of luck. Oh, he's put that out.
30 all.
Simply amazing. I mean, Korda's always been known as a streaky player who can be sensationally good and woefully bad on almost successive points, but this is extraordinary. Yes, I think Peter Korda stubbed his ankle in the middle of that rally.
30-40.
Certainly in a lot of pain. He's asking, I'm sure, for an injury timeout.
We have a 3-minute injury timeout.
You noticed him, you heard the cry of pain, and saw him pull up in the middle of the rally. I assume it was an ankle, unless he stubbed his toe or something. Just checking, let's see. Oh, yeah, he just turned on it there, didn't he? Yeah, yes, he did. You can see him limping. Bill Gilmore, the tournament referee with the walkie-talkie. Ed Hardesty, the ATP supervisor. Our host broadcaster taking the opportunity of nipping off for a commercial break. Yeah, but they've given us back the pictures, which is good of them. So it looks as if he's going to be able to continue. Once it's been strapped up. How will all this affect the momentum of the match? Yzaga, of course, trying desperately to keep warm. So when we do resume, it will be a break point. And the tour physios do such a superb job, so efficiently and so quickly. And that's 3 minutes for an injury timeout. It must be an injury that happens in the course of the match. It can't be a pre-existing condition. If the treatment isn't completed within the 3 minutes, then you start getting code violations for delay of match. And of course, if you're unable to resume within the limitations of the code of conduct, that's it. You get defaulted. Let's see again. It's all right there. When he splits here, oh yes, there it goes. Oh dear me. You always feel almost a little sorry for the opponent in these circumstances, because he's not going to be certain just how mobile Korda is. Korda being offered some pain-killing tablets as well. You're never sure then whether to change your tactics to make him move more. No. Peter Korda is going to continue. He's had his 3 minutes. Discards the bandana. Not sure what difference that's going to make. And of course, he's got to face a break point. The Peruvians picking up their support of Yzaga.
Thank you.
Just to repeat, it's 30-40 at 2-all in the second set. First set, Yzaga 6-2. So Korda in real trouble, and he drops his serve just for good measure. Real drama at the Sydney Entertainment Centre. This was the last point of the last game, and you can see Peter Korda in a lot of pain there. Yeah, and hardly moving to that shot at all. Now the question is, when the muscle warms up again, when the ankle warms up, whether he'll be able to play through the pain. Certainly treading very gingerly at the moment. Would be a great shame if this final was ruined by an injury. He's going up 3-2 with the break. I suppose the question that will undoubtedly be going through Peter Korda's mind is, do I play on and risk making the injury worse? At the moment, I suspect there must be a real possibility of this match not going the distance. I suspect, though, that Korda will give it a few more games. Certainly keep trying for this set. And just see if the pain eases and the muscle becomes a little looser. Certainly moved a little better there, coming up to the net.
15 love.
And always in these circumstances, the psychology of it all so important. You can just try and put the injury out of your mind.
Second serve.
But that hurt. And there's Korda's first double fault.
30-15.
A tremendous get from Korda, but at the expense of some more pain.
Yzaga leads 4 games to 3.
He's fiddling with the shoe, maybe wanting to loosen things off a bit. Just changing pairs. Interesting form of sock he wears, isn't it? "58 minutes gone, and the question in everybody's mind, just how handicapped is Peter Korda? He doesn't get any extra time here. He has to complete these repairs within the 90 seconds. No call of time yet from Dana LeConte. It's not one that I've heard. He would normally also give Korda a 15-second warning. If he goes over the 90 seconds, he'll just get a warning at this stage, so it wouldn't cost him any more than that. Hop, skip and a jump. And getting a good sympathetic hand. Certainly the neutrals, one suspect, will be with him now. Yzaga 4-3 up, serving second set. Well, there's the old saying, isn't there, about the wounded lion being the most dangerous.
Come on, Pete!
Korda being forced to cover a lot of ground. Just very solid, compact play from a solid and compact player. Always missed it.
30.
The backhand has worked a dream, like a dream for Yzaga today, but rather snatched at what should have been an easy put away. But it seems every time Peter Korda tries to inject some pace in his strokes, He's lapsing into error. A point for a 5-3 second lead for Yzaga.
First serve. Deuce.
Signs of nerves. Perhaps he now feels under pressure and now expected to win against an injured opponent, whereas he certainly wasn't expected to win at the start of the match. It's two wayward forehands indeed.
Advantage Yzaga.
That's American dollars, of course, as opposed to Australian dollars.
First serve. Deuce.
And gradually the Korda mobility is returning. Certainly steps sweetly into that stroke. Juice for a second time.
Advantage Korda.
Getting very frustrated indeed with his errors on the forehand wing. Oh, and another. And so for the second time in this second set, Korda breaks back.
4 games all.
And for the first time really in the match, Yzaga looked particularly vulnerable in that game. Just tightening up, particularly on the forehand.
Thank you.
Can Korda cut down on his own errors to take advantage? New balls in play, 4-all, second set. Korda is switching the attack to the Peruvian's forehand, and it's working. The forehand is breaking down. Every point in that game ended with an Yzaga forehand error. Korda's ahead, 5-4 now in the second set.
5 games to 4.
The momentum has swung in this final of the Australian indoors, and Jaime Yzaga, who looked so much in command at a set and 4-2, certainly finds himself serving to save this set at 4-5.
Love 15.
It is amazing how his forehand has suddenly deserted him. He's lost all confidence in the shot. 5 successive point-ending forehand errors from the Peruvian.
15 all.
Fortunately for him, though, the backhand is still as effective as always.
15.
Just for a moment, his heart must have been in his mouth. It wasn't that far inside the sidelines. Oh. The other change that has come about is that Korda is now waiting patiently for the opportunity to attack. Earlier on, he was going for everything much too quickly. This is a glorious forehand. Look at the change in that from the first to the second sets. It's not so long ago that we were wondering whether Peter Korda would quit this match. If he'd gone 2 sets to love down, it must have been in his mind. It certainly won't be in his mind now. Set point for 1 set all. Amazing turnabout.
6 games to 4.
Korda wins 4 successive games to turn the second set and the match on its head.
1 set all. Quietly, it's 3rd set.
And it wasn't as if the injury was the decisive factor, because immediately after it, Yzaga broke and then held to lead 4-2. It's 1 set all, best of 5 set match if you've just joined us. Yzaga would have given a lot for a few forehands like that a few games ago. Of course, it's a lot easier to play better tennis at the start of the set when the pressure's off. I don't know whether our host broadcasters, Channel 7, are able to show us the statistics of Unforced errors from Korda in the first and second sets, but I bet there were an awful lot less in the second.
30-15.
Five games in a row now for Peter Korda. And suddenly Jaime Yzaga looks pretty desolate. It's all slipped away from him, hasn't it? He knows really he's let this match slip from his grasp, particularly with losing control of his forehand. And in a sense, maybe the fact that Peter Korda was down and injured, maybe he mentally relaxed a little bit and said, okay, well, if I can't win this match now, I can always say, well, the injury made it virtually impossible for me, and that just perhaps psychologically lifted some of the pressure, the burden of expectation, the burden of starting as a clear favourite off his shoulders. Then unforced errors. Well, yes, early in the second set, Korda was way out in front. I think it was something like 26-9. So you can see that's evened off quite a lot. It would be fascinating to compare those statistics on a set-by-set basis.
Thank you.
Both getting a good percentage of first serves in. Yzaga desperately needs to hold serve, having lost 5 games in a row.
15 love.
Drop your serve that short and take that, sir. That indoor record based on tournaments, just 2 tournaments, Milan and here, of Korda. So the crisis continues for Jaime Yzaga.
Thank you. Quiet, please.
Someone's been having a liquid lunch.
deuce.
Key moments, one feels, even though it's so early in this third set. Korda trying to build on his recent ascendancy, and Yzaga trying desperately to stop the flow of the match that has been ebbing away from him.
Advantage, Korda.
And it's threatening to become a flood tide. Second break point for Korda to take a 2-love third set lead at 1-set-all. Korda's turning up the heat, and it's becoming too hot for Jaime Yzaga.
2 games to 1.
Six successive games now for the 6-seeded Czech.
Love 15.
Second double fault. Thought Korda was a little too careful on the approach shot here, didn't get it deep enough. Should have gone for his shot, he pushed it instead of hitting it. So love 30. Well now, just when you thought Peter Korda was getting a solid grip on this match, he's loosened his hold. Still 2 break-back points. First break point that Jaime Yzaga hasn't taken advantage of in the course of the match. And he takes advantage of the next, and the match comes alive again. Korda's lead in the third set is cut to 2 games to 1.
Korda leads 2 games to 1.
Welcome back to Eurosport's coverage of the final of the Ansett Australia Indoor Championships in the Sydney Entertainment Centre. Jaime Yzaga serving at 1-2, third set, 1-set-all. I remind you, it's a best-of-5 set final.
Love 10.
Must be worried by the way his forehand is collapsing about his ears. I've been struggling to see if there's anything obvious. The trouble is, when you lose confidence in a shot, you tend not to hit through the ball cleanly. You do tend to push it a little, become tentative on it. And of course, this is where Korda's reputation as a streak player comes into the equation. Raced through 6 successive games, and then promptly drops his serve to 15.
15-30.
Now it's becoming error-riddled from both men.
Come on, Pete.
Yzaga hardly made an unforced error in the first set.
For serve.
Mm.
30-40.
Yzaga, his own worst enemy there, getting himself trapped in no man's land. So, in danger of losing his serve for a 4th successive time. Best point Yzaga's played for some time. Really working his opponent around the court. That is a glorious cross-court backhand that the Peruvian possesses.
Advantage Yzaga. Game is up.
So Yzaga recovers from 2-love down in this 3rd set.
2 games up.
And we are tied up at 1 set apiece and 2 games apiece.
Seems quickly.
Just coming up to the hour-and-a-half mark. Just a little hint to the baseline judge that balls like that are out. Third double fault. Second in successive games.
15-30.
And a fifth ace from Korda. Yes, Korda quite relieved to see that drop on Yzaga's side. It could have so easily been a very awkward one, just dribbling down his side of the net. Oh, terrific shot. Korda holds, and the Czechs ahead by 3-2 in this third set. We'll be back in a moment or two. I'm Yzaga to serve at 2-3. Third set, 1 set all. There's that dodgy forehand again. Nothing dodgy, though, about Yzaga's backhand.
15.
Well, Korda can't really complain. He's had a couple of lucky net chords himself. Sometimes he doesn't seem to get much of a loop in his backswing, and he comes through the ball perhaps a little too flat, not imparting enough topspin, not giving himself enough margin of error over the net. That might give him a bit more confidence though on the forehand wing.
40-30.
Excellent approach here from Korda, going to the right side and getting it nice and deep. If we look at this once more. Yzaga just going for the little device that assists him to adjust the strings. So we move into the sharp end of this third set. The crucial seventh game.
Love 15.
Oh, my word. Oh, what a spectacular shot. What a risky shot, it has to be said. Attempting a drive volley from so far back. Look at this. What is he? A yard inside the baseline? I think it might have got one of the spectators. Hospitality boxes at the back of the court looking a bit vulnerable there. One set all, 3 games all, and 30 all. Yzaga beginning to play with a bit more confidence and a bit more freedom. But seems to have got through that edgy patch, which saw him lose his grip on the contest and lose 6 games in a row, putting the points together once more. And here he has a break point to move ahead, having been a break down in this set. As you can hear, Cyclops in use, calling the service line. Wonderful rally this time from Korda. Whereas sometimes when we get to the sharp end of a set, the quality of play deteriorates as both men tighten up a bit. The last couple of rallies, it's really risen. Points have to be decided by great winning shots rather than errors. That put a kiss of death on Peter Korda, didn't it? His 4th double fault, and that has been an Achilles heel of his over the years. Double faults at crucial moments. And it's Yzaga who gets the break in the vital 7th game. And the man from Peru is ahead once more by 4 games to 3 in this 3rd set. And now it's Yzaga back in the ascendancy, serving for a 5-3 3rd set lead.
Love 15.
Now, it was at this stage of the last set that Yzaga suddenly tightened up. When he was serving at 4-3 up, as he is now, and started to lapse into errors, particularly on the forehand wing. So, key moments once more. Once more the forehand starts to break down. It is amazing, isn't it? And you know that he knows this is what happened a set ago. Break back point for Korda. Of course, Australia, with a huge tradition of tennis and having a good year. Wally Mercer in the top 20, Mark Woodford just outside it. Australia in the Davis Cup final against Germany in Dusseldorf, beginning of December. Australia reaching the final of the Federation Cup, beating the defending champions, Germany, in the first round. It's that forehand from Yzaga that continues to look suspect. And Korda, just as he did in the second set, breaks back to 4-all. So 4 breaks of serve now. in this third set. Korda got the lead, lost it, and now Yzaga's done precisely the same thing.
Thank you. Game Korda.
Korda follows up the service break with a love service game, and again that's precisely what happened in the third set. So a huge test of Yzaga's nerve coming up, having failed to hold serve at 4-5 in the second set. He has to do so at that score in the third. I don't think it's suntan lotion. Presumably just something to try and keep his muscles loose. And the old bananas have taken off a battering in the tennis tournament. I was told that they contain lots of energy-giving minerals.
Time.
Peruvian supporters still noisy, still enjoying themselves hugely.
Thank you. Ready for play.
4-5, third set. Yzaga serving. So now the script does look rather different from that of the second set. Yzaga lost his serve at 4-5 to 30. He ain't going to do it now. Very worst, he's going to lose his serve in a deuce game. In fact, he isn't going to lose his serve at all.
5 games on.
1 set all, 5 all. I guess we could call this pretty even. hurt the old ankle again.
15 love.
As he just sort of half tripped as he was coming in for the volley. Played it very carefully and sensibly. So in a match in which there have been loads of service breaks, somewhat surprising that we've now had 10 successive points go with the serve. Eleven breaks of serve in the match so far.
30-15.
Ace number 6.
15.
Another comfortable service game, and Korda leads 6-5 in this third set. It's 1 set all. Time, Yzaga will have to serve to try and stay in this third set. And of course, if he can succeed on this occasion, we will be into a tiebreaker.
Thank you.
I don't know whether something specific was said at Peter Korda or just some noise. Obviously Peter Korda is a rugby fan. I don't think there was anything said to him specifically, it was just general noise in one of the hospitality boxes. Oh my, the man whose forehand has been letting him down. That's extraordinary.
40 love. 5 plays.
You won't see a harder hit shot than this all year, I suspect. Got to have had the speed gun on that one. Good stretch indeed from Korda. He anticipated the down the line shot very well. Ysaga's first double fault of the match. Suddenly an easy service game at 40 love becomes a difficult one at 40-30. Made sure he got the first serve in that time. So 6 all it is. And although this is a 5th set match, A 5-set match, I should say. Can't help feeling that this tie-break will be absolutely crucial to the outcome. The immediate point against the serve. Korda had a great chance to come into net in that rally. Really had stretched Yzaga wide. The mini break cancelled out. They're all a bit tense now. The error's starting to creep into the play of both men as they realise this is an absolutely vital stage. Yzaga ahead once more, 3-2. Third set tiebreak. They'll change ains at 3-all.
3-all.
And still they're locked together. Set all, 6-all, 3-all in the tiebreaker. It may not have been the final that anyone expected. But it's certainly proving to be a fascinating one. Just over 2 hours now they've been on court, 2 hours and 3 minutes. And still anybody's match. Korea gone, Becker gone, Medvedev gone, Ivanisevic out, Krajcek, Lendl, Musser, they all failed to make it. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. A fifth double fault. And now Jaime Yzaga
6-3.
has 3 set points. He wins both points on the Korda serve. 3 set points to move ahead by 2-1. Oh, what a pickup. What a time to make a half-volley winner. With your 3 set points down. Extraordinary get by Korda. Yzaga had gone for broke. Gone for the outright winner. Beautiful hands from Peter Korda, but he's still facing 2 set points. And it's Jaime Yzaga who wins the tiebreak by 7 games to 4. And the man from Peru moves ahead by 2-1. Coverage of the final of the Australian Indoors in the Sydney Entertainment Centre. So Jaime Yzaga took the 3rd set to move ahead 2-1. They traded service breaks early in the 4th set, and we're going to pick it up again with Peter Korda to serve, trailing 2-3 in that 4th set, and of course by 2-1. He nearly made it, didn't he?
15 15 all.
Just a little unlucky.
30
The net cord sufficient to change the flight of the ball and to take it out over the sidelines. Now then, what an opportunity for Yzaga to take a 4-2 4-set lead, 2-1 in front, beginning to close in on what would undoubtedly be the biggest tournament victory of his career. So close, so close. I'm not surprised that he wants another look at that. Oh, I do love the Aussies. So diplomatic.
Thank you.
They believe in calling a spade a shovel over there. I must say I like them. I always enjoy my trips down under. Peter Korda will not enjoy that. And again, the vulnerability of the serve of the Czech. And again, Yzaga has break point. Terrific play.
Deuce.
Korda really fighting for his life in that point.
Advantage Korda.
And again, the quality of the Yzaga backhand, which has been undoubtedly the outstanding shot of this final. We saw the variety there, two driven cross courts, one sliced down the line. Both men breathing hard.
Advantage Korda.
Yeah, as you see, dropping the ball too short this time on that backhand. If you're going to slice when you're giving, obviously getting no pace, you've just got to get it deep.
Game Korda.
Well, a key game for Peter Korda. Twice he was within a point of falling 2-4 behind in this fourth set. Instead, he levels at 3-all, and still this match fascinatingly in the balance.
Thank you. Ready for play. 5 minutes.
Well, the South Americans have certainly contributed to the atmosphere of this final. And I suppose the organisers will be delighted about that. They might have worried that a final without their big stars wouldn't have generated the enthusiasm that it has.
Love 14. Love 30.
Magic shot, man.
So is this where Korda's going to cut loose and have another winning sequence of games? that he isn't.
30.
No, just wide. So another game going to juice. All of them now being so closely contested. There really is very little to choose between these two today.
Advantage Yzaga.
Just wide. Yzaga holds. He's ahead. 4-3 on serve in the fourth set.
Come on, Pete!
Box has certainly been vociferous in its support for Korda.
Come on, Pete!
Stealing in quickly and almost unnoticed. And very effectively. So now it's Yzaga's turn to come under pressure. Well, by such slices of fortune, And the outcome of matches be decided. Could so easily have been 15-40. Going over the high part of the net. Net is 6 inches higher at the net post than it is at the centre. 30 all, 5 all, 2 sets to 1 Yzaga.
40-30. For serve.
The miss hit from Korda eases the pressure on Yzaga. He leads 6-5 in this fourth set. We're still on serve. For a second time, Yzaga is within a game of victory, and Peter Korda is having to serve to prevent him from taking that victory. Well, we haven't seen too many unforced errors on the Yzaga backhand in this match. The closeness and the tightness of this match, which you can see has almost gone to 3 hours, affecting even that shot. A lot of extra slice on that backhand from Yzaga. Seemed to shoot through a little bit. Certainly caught Korda unawares. Total mistiming of his forehand. The old tendency to lapse into unforced errors once again puts Korda in a situation of being 2 points from defeat. Oh, and now Yzaga is 1 point away from the biggest win of his career. He's already beaten 3 seeds, Nasser, Courier and Ivanisevic. And now he's 1 point away from bidding a 4th and claiming the Australian indoor title. Oh, well played, Korda. Positive play indeed to save the match point. Lovely swinging serve, and having missed a couple of forehands, what courage to go for that one. But he'll need to save another.
Advantage Yzaga. Quiet please. Quiet please. Thank you. Quiet please.
It's wide. Yzaga thought it was good, but it was wide. It was definitely wide. Donna Leconto in the chair, explaining to Jaime, I'm in absolutely no doubt that this ball is wide. Yep, just misses.
Thank you.
So 2 match points have come and gone.
Advantage Korda.
How will Yzaga react to the disappointment? So close to victory was Yzaga, so close to defeat was Korda.
6 games all, tie break.
And now the match, one feels, is wide open once more. And there's an awful test of character of Jaime Yzaga coming up. He actually thought he'd won the match. He thought he'd played the winning shot. And he has to build himself up again. Refocus. And try and win this tie-break. Here we go in slow motion. Slower it looks, the closer it gets. Interesting. I was convinced it was out. Here we go once more. Ay, ay, ay. The more I see it, the more I think it might have been good after all. I hope he doesn't lose the match after all that. If he sees that slow-mo, he really will have nightmares if he's lost the match. Well, I have to say again, I think the call is correct. Maybe Yzaga would not thank me for saying so. Now, let's have a look.
Thank you.
I think I'll shut up and leave you to make your own mind up. Close. So unlike the tie-break in the last set, where two of the first 3 points went against the serve, here the first 3 all go with the serve, and Jaime Yzaga has broken a string. Dana Leconte, one of the most experienced of officials, employed full-time, of course, by the IBM ATP Tour.
Quite well.
1-2, 4-set tiebreak. Yzaga up by 2-1.
2-all.
Out.
3-2. Yzaga.
It's Yzaga who gets the first point against the serve.
4-2. Yzaga.
And as they change ends, the man from Peru edges ahead, 4-2. And the variety of the Yzaga backhands.
Just lift your game, Pete.
Just lift your game. Easy as that, eh? And you've been battling it out for over 3 hours. Now then, crunch time. Jaime Yzaga ahead 4-3. If he wins his 2 service points, he'll have 3 more championship points. He can't do it.
4-all.
That's a terrific serve at this stage in the match.
5-4. Yzaga.
When you're only 5'7", you have to rely on accuracy as opposed to power. And you couldn't get a more accurate delivery than that one. 4-5. All credit there to Korda. He had an awful long time to think about that overhead and the consequences of missing it. Five all, and from now on, every other point is going to be set point or match point.
First.
Jimmy Van Allen, the man who invented the tiebreak, the late Jimmy Van Allen, will be smiling down on this and saying, think of the drama I've created and the excitement. Oh, the double fault.
6-5 Yzaga.
So often in the past, double faults have cost Korda so much. And can that one have cost him the Australian indoor title? It is a 3rd match point for Jaime Yzaga. And the essential difference is that this one is on his own serve. he's put it out.
6 all.
Aye, 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 aye. So 3 times Peter Korda has been within 1 point of defeat. And if he could win this tie-break now, you've got to say the psychological advantage would be with the Czech.
7-6.
But it's match point against him for the 4th time. Maybe Yzaga should have just tried to block that return back. It was a good serve. 4 match points saved.
Quiet.
Vamos, says Yzaga, go in Spanish. It is his 5th championship point.
Thank you. Quiet, please.
He's done it. Jaime Yzaga.
6-2, 4-6, 7-6.
The man ranked 54 in the world has come into a tournament boasting stars like Courier and Becker and Medvedev and Ivanisevic and Krajicek and Korda and Lendl. He's taken on in every round a man ranked higher than himself. He's taken on 4 seeds in successive rounds. And Jaime Yzaga has beaten them all. And he's beaten Peter Korda in 4 sets. 6-2, 4-6, 7-6, 7-6. Not his first title by any means on the IBM ATP Tour, but for sure his most important one. Great scenes and a great week for Jaime Yzaga.